forwards.
Psycho child. I actually feel kind of bad for the bugger now. How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is the Eagle Nightmare. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing the reaction video. Today I'm reacting to the audiobook preview, at least the first couple chapters of the audiobook preview for Epithet Erased, Prison of Plastic. I finished reacting to the animated show, Epithet Erased, but the series is not done yet. There is a book, which basically is the novel form of what would have been the second season of the show, and I am here to check that out because there is an audiobook preview that was uploaded to YouTube, which has the first 6 chapters of the 17-chapter book, and my plan is to break it up into like 2 chapters of video for these reactions, because it's the full video with the entire preview is like 2.5 hours. I'm not doing like a 3-hour video on this. So I'm going to split this into 3 different reaction videos checking this out. And then after that, I'm going to get to actually reading this book, and I will be doing an Eve's Book Club video where I talk more about the story and like how it ends and stuff like that. So including this video, there's basically going to be 4 videos about Prison of Plastic. And I am very excited to check this out. I really loved the series, and I'm even more excited because based on like what you saw in the cover art there and like the cliffhanger to be continued that we're left with at the end of the finale of the show, it seems like Molly is coming back into the spotlight as a character, which is really good. As much as I ended up really enjoying like Percy and Ramsey and Zora in the Redwood Run arc, I did miss Molly and all of her fun shenanigans from the museum arc. So I'm excited that she is back for the sequel. So let's go ahead, jump into this. I've never reacted to something that's like purely audio like this. Closest I got, I think, is when I watched the lyric video for As Alive As You Need Me to Be from 9 Inch Nails. So we'll see how this goes, and I will basically be manually stopping it after the first couple chapters. Hopefully they make it clear where the chapters are in this video, and yeah, let's go ahead and check this out.
This is a free sample of the audiobook for Epithet Erased, Prison of Plastic, containing the first 6 out of 17 chapters.
Yeah, here we go.
A physical copy of the book can be purchased on mascotbooks.com or ordered
right
from
here.
any major retailer. The audiobook is available exclusively on Soundbooth.
And my mom bought that one because I got her hooked on the show, and she's probably going to listen to
the audiobook on one of these nifty little cassette drives. For more information,
those are definitely already sold out a while ago.
Visit epitheterasedonline.com.
But yeah, I do think this is gonna be fun because it's still going to be the actual characters, like with the voice actors and everything. It's not just one person reading the whole thing like a standard audiobook.
Epithets.
It actually is the full thing.
In this world, a lucky few are born with special powers based off of a single word. This word is linked to their very soul, and no 2 people have the same one. By tapping into the word, epithet users, the inscribed, can do amazing things that ordinary people, Mundies, could only dream of. For instance, if a person had the epithet beach, then they might have the power to control the tides or summon sandcastles.
That's a good point, because it's limited only by your creativity on how you can connect the word.
And the epithet recherche could force a person to open a dictionary and look up what recherche means. Of course, because a person.
Okay, that's going to go on the screen right now, what the definition of recherche is.
Sets are often a little, well, dumb. In one instance, literally.
Molly.
The story so far. 1 week ago, a young
so
girl
we're
named Molly
a week
Blinded
after the museum
behind during a
incident.
field trip and accidentally locked inside of a museum. By sheer coincidence, not just 1, but 2 groups of dangerous thieves infiltrated the museum on that same night. Poor Molly found herself caught in their battle over a magical artifact that could take a person's power away. And she was their target.
She just got dragged around, I swear, that entire arc.
Young man by the name of Giovanni, and they managed to survive the night by working together. Giovanni's group made off with the amulet. They all evaded the police, and Molly gained a much-needed boost in confidence, as well as a role model in her scrappy new mentor.
She definitely needed that, because,
Molly's problems at home are far from
that's
over.
the problem, because her dad sucks, and she mentioned that her sister also
Prologue.
was not great.
The Neo Trio.
Ooh, we got a prologue as well. I wonder if this counts as one of the chapters. We'll have to see.
Sweet Jazz City, a bustling metropolis where it snowed 7 months of the year. Although it was still August, the trademark wintry feel of the town was already returning to the air.
I didn't.
The breeze
So
coming
wow,
off
we
the
must have been like
nearby
in the
ice-blue
one
ocean
part
kept
of
temperatures
the
below
year where it
70
doesn't
even on
snow
sunny
during the
days,
show,
and
'cause
at
I
night,
didn't
the
see
city's
any snow around the
multicolored
museum.
skyline sparkled a rainbow of blues, pinks, and purples, an iron aurora borealis. Sweet Jazz stood as a center for business and the arts, home to first-rate corporations and a world-famous art museum, which had only suffered its first break-in.
That's only the
not too
first one?
bad.
Okay.
Sure, there were a few dozen $1,000 in damage, but that price was nothing for the rich elite of the nation's capital. Well-to-do socialites happily wandered the
Okay, so
city's
Sweet Jazz
glowing
City is
shopping
the
centers
capital
and
of its
gorgeous
country,
diamond
okay.
white beaches without a care in the world. Even the emptiest stretch of coastline had a respectable number of beachgoers, all of them happy with smiles as bright as the sand. Well, all except for one. One little
Hey,
girl
there
under
she
a
is.
lamppost who was flipping back and forth like a pinwheel on the edge of a panic attack.
That sounds like Molly.
Am I at the wrong intersection?
Molly Blindef had been standing alone on a street corner across from the beach for about 20 minutes now, and she was getting worried. It was Tuesday, which meant that today was one of the rare times she had the afternoon off. Molly had a strange schedule.
Yeah,
In order to make ends meet at her family's
because of
toy
her
store, the Blindef
stupid
Toy
father.
Emporium, they needed to stay open every day of the week. They didn't have the money to hire any outside help, and that meant that someone from the family had to work the register every single day. Her father had somehow managed to negotiate a system with her school where Molly would attend school on odd days and manage the store on even ones. Her older sister Lorelai worked the opposite.
Oh, so he was just being a
and the
jerk
two
when
would
she
switch
worked
off
it like
shifts
3
while
days
their
in a row.
father,
Okay.
the toy maker and inventor, would spend all day tinkering away in the basement, making more doodads to sell out front. In addition to her work shifts, Molly was also in charge of the family finances.
Yeah.
Running the business side
Of course,
of the toy
put
store
the
had been
youngest
her
of the
mother's
family in
job,
charge of
but
it.
after she passed away, Molly inherited all of her paperwork, along with her headaches. To most people, it would have seemed insane to have a 12-year-old managing their taxes. Because it was!
Yeah, it
But
is,
the
because her
alternative was
family
leaving her
sucks
father to
as far as we
handle
know.
things, and that was a no-go. Molly had learned the hard way that relying on her father for anything was a one-way ticket to disaster.
Yep.
Once she came home from school to find that he had purchased a massive inflatable kiddie pool and several expensive pool toys that now occupied 90% of their floor space.
What?
He was all geared out to swim with a snorkel and inflatable duck ring around his waist, but found himself unable to fill the pool because he had forgotten to pay the water bill.
Oh my gosh.
Her older sister was no better, constantly shirking her shifts and always distracted. There was no way someone like her could make it through all the bylines of a tax sheet. And so, yet another responsibility had fallen to the youngest daughter.
Again,
On top of all that,
I
Molly
feel like
was
we're definitely
also
going to
in
meet
charge of
Molly's
cooking
sister in
and
this
cleaning
one.
most of the time, which meant that Molly Blindef had almost no free time at all. Every second of free time she had was precious, and she was starting to freak out.
Oh, we were supposed to meet here, right?
Her star-sprinkled afro bounced back and forth as she glanced up and down the street.
Which, again, apparently those
Pretty
stars in her
sure
hair
I
are
put the
natural,
address down
consider
right.
and genetic, considering that
What
her
if I
dad
got it
has them in
wrong?
his beard.
Oh no!
Molly shook with anxiety. She cowered under a street lamp in her trademark bear hoodie and yellow rain
Yay,
boots.
the bear
The
hoodie!
intersection she stood at was right at the waterfront next to a sparkling white beach.
I
was
love
a
that it has the
beautiful
actual
afternoon
voice
and there wasn't a
actor for
cloud in the
Molly in here.
sky.
She's awesome.
For a normal person, it would have been a picture-perfect day in the city. But for a small child alone in an unfamiliar part of town, it felt like an open labyrinth. Danger could pop out anywhere at any time. Was she allowed to stand here? No one else was on this part of the street. Was she
I
doing
feel
something
this on
wrong?
a cellular
Someone
level,
tried to talk
Molly.
to her?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, poor
She
little
stared at her
anxiety
phone for
beam.
help. She could try texting one of her friends to confirm the location, but she was nearly out of minutes this month and she really couldn't afford
okay.
any overages. She needed to save any more calls for emergencies. Was this an emergency? No, she decided.
Not
this
yet.
wasn't an emergency.
It could be.
Not yet. She could still ask someone for directions. That's what they did in the before cell phones times. Molly wasn't old enough to remember the before cell phones times, but her school showed her a series of weird old VHS tapes from 30 plus years ago about public safety in the city called Street Smarts. They gave pretty standard
Street
city
with
life
Z?
advice. Don't climb into a trunk of a car, don't eat garbage, don't talk to strangers. It also said that back in the day, if you
Why-
were lost, you
why-
could ask
why-
for
why is
directions.
it- is that them
And there
trying to
was
be
only a
hip
small
with the
chance that
Zs
the person you were talking
right
to
there?
was a murderer. She looked up and saw a man in a white
Small chance.
pinstripe suit walking down the sidewalk in her direction.
Oh, here comes someone. Okay, let's ask him. I can do this. Remember what Boss said. Be more assertive.
Yep, definitely listen to Giovanni's
Oh,
advice, because
but
despite
this
the fact
guy
that he's
looks
trying to be
important.
evil, he gave you the best advice
Wearing
you've
a
probably ever
fancy
gotten in your
suit
life.
And a hat. Is it okay to talk to him? What if he's a busy business guy?
Molly.
I wouldn't want to bother him.
The man stepped closer.
His face is kind of scary. What if he's a gangster or something?
Oh my gosh.
He's almost next to me. It's too weird to call out to him now. I'll just wait for the next person. But no one else is on this road.
Oh, it hasn't. We haven't even gotten through the prologue, and Molly's already having a mental breakdown.
Say words.
Molly opened her mouth. The man kept walking.
That was adorable.
Molly shut her mouth. Well, she tried. Molly was doing her best to be more assertive. She really was, but it was so hard.
She's also
especially with
12
strangers.
years old.
She didn't want to
12.
bother anybody.
Come on.
Though, come to think of it, he wouldn't have been able to help her out even if she had managed to speak to him. She wasn't looking for a place. She was looking for a person. And unless he'd seen them, he would have had no idea where they were. Oh well.
So who are you
Molly
looking
hoped that
for,
she wasn't
Molly?
inconveniencing anyone by showing up at the wrong spot. She hoped she was just early. Most of all, she hoped that there wasn't some terrible reason that they were late.
You looking for your friends? Oh,
Huh? Molly heard a voice.
oh gosh.
It was a faraway voice, echoing distantly off the walls of the nearby alley. Most people probably wouldn't have heard it at all over the sound of the waves, but Molly had particularly sensitive hearing.
Yeah, that's
What's more,
about right.
it was
She
a
has, I
sound
think she
that
says
she
she has
recognized.
misophonia.
A voice that she recognized. From a person
Oh.
she recognized.
Oh, it's one of her friends
Oh
then.
no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
With a growing fear in her heart, she steadied her hands against the straps of her backpack and sprinted into the indigo shadow of the alleyway.
Brave girl.
Phoenica Felicity was so excited
Phoenica,
to
okay.
meet her friends at the beach that she had decided to take a shortcut. She had
You
walked
never
the
take a
beachfront
shortcut.
before, but she figured that the fastest way to get there was to take the direct route through the alleys. Just keep walking west and she should arrive in no time. Easy peasy. Her bouncy blonde hair and high-end
Yep,
dress
we saw
stood out
her
like
in
a
the
sore
end of
thumb
the
against
season
deep
finale.
ripples of the dirty alley. What's more, she had little ornamental bells in her hair that softly jingled as she skipped. She looked like a little
I'm assuming
lost
that this
lamb,
is
politely
her, the
inviting any
friend
nearby
that she said
predators
would
to
have
eat
liked
her.
Sylvie's sheep.
It wasn't long before
Look
she
at how
ran
soft
into
and
a
sweet
wolf.
they were. Wait, a wolf?
Hey, kid.
Oh,
Phoenica
hi.
answered with the eager sincerity of someone who had just been called on by their favorite teacher.
That's a nice looking bag you got there.
Phoenica looked at her designer backpack. It was nice. It was baby blue and
She's
had a sheep
not at all
embroidered
thinking
on it.
about what
It
the-
was her favorite.
Oh, thank you.
She beamed.
A little bit too of an
Oh,
innocent little
Lord.
bean, I'm guessing, for this
Phoenica
character.
had been taught to always return a compliment with a compliment. She looked up and down at the person addressing her for anything compliment-worthy.
Oh
The
gosh.
woman was languid with pallid skin and a long, ratty auburn ponytail. She leaned against the wall in an awkward way, like a dead tree that couldn't decide whether or not it wanted to fall down.
I like your energy.
She decided.
Looks expensive.
Couldn't think of anything else to
She
compliment.
smiled.
Well, goodbye.
Oh
The woman
no.
slid in front of her, blocking her exit.
Wondering where I might find a bag as nice as that one.
I got mine at Baxter's department store.
Phoenica offered.
You could try going there.
The bells in her hair jingled, but the warning bells in her head did not.
Yeah, no, I'm wondering if there's even any
Baxter's,
warning
huh?
bells in her head at this point. We just met this
Place
character,
is pretty
and then I'm already
Don't think
concerned
I'd
about
ever be
her
able to afford it.
ability to
Oh, that is a problem.
self-preservation.
I know. You could try getting a job.
Oh my
Phoenica
gosh,
offered this
Phoenica.
advice with the absolute sincerity of a child. So much so that it somehow wrapped back around to sounding insulting.
Actually,
The wolf said, cracking a crooked smile.
I was thinking it'd be easier to just take this one.
But this one is mine.
Phoenica reminded her.
Not for long.
The silver flick of a switchblade appeared. in the
Oh
wolf's
gosh,
hand.
straight up pulling a
She
knife
closed
on the
the
child.
distance and
Okay.
loomed over Phoenica as though she were 3 times her height. Phoenica gasped.
I get it now.
She said,
You're a bully.
the word most people would have chosen was mugger.
Yeah, that's
I
more
know how to
accurate.
deal with bullies.
Phoenica declared. She cleared her throat and recalled the word-for-word message that the VHS tapes had
Oh
told her.
no.
You are only mean because of society and your own personal trauma.
That's not gonna work, Phoenica. Oh no.
I will take the first step. Here, I forgive you.
Phoenica hugged her.
Oh no. You
After a
stupid little
moment of
girl.
confusion, the mugger grabbed the idiot child by the back.
Idiot child is a good way to describe her.
Into the air. She flailed uselessly like a ladybug
She
on
seems
its
like
back.
a bit of an airhead.
VHS tapes, you lied to me!
Molly peeked around the corner of the midnight blue brick wall and gasped. Her best friend was being whipped back and forth through the air by some scraggly-looking mugger. The assailant shook her up and down, desperately trying to knock her loose, but Phoenica clung to the backpack straps as though her life depended on it.
Oh, come on, kid! Let go of the damn thing!
Barked the wolf, flailing her around like a dog.
How could
with a
Molly
chew toy.
help here? I'm trying to think. I mean, she can make the mugger stupid.
If I tear the straps or rip the fabric, I can't sell it.
She brandished the knife again and held it close to the girl's neck.
Oh, gosh. So this person
this
is
bag
truly
really worth her
insane.
life?
I don't care about the bag, but I can't let you have what's inside of it!
The little girl was trembling, but her big blue eyes were filled with resolve.
Oh, something valuable?
Yes! It's my friend's and you can't
Ooh.
have it!
Some
Phoenica wriggled.
What is it? Money? You got cash in there?
probably
Wait.
not.
Is money all you
But I am
have?
curious now what's in the bag.
She said this as though it hadn't occurred to her that a mugger might be interested in money.
Here, you can have my
It hadn't occurred to
all
her.
the money I have. Leave the bag, I beg you. It's been a while since my last allowance, so I'm a little short, but I've still got about 5,000 in there.
5,000?
Shut up! How stupid you think I am?
Okay,
Plus, you
so
don't even
Phoenica
have a
is,
purse on
at least her family is rich, and
Purse in my dress pocket.
Your
could be, definitely
dress
contrast to
has
Molly, whose
pockets?
apparently family is the blinded
Yours
family is
not?
struggling to make ends meet.
Jeez, you really are rich. All right, let's see what's in this thing. Come to mama!
The mugger swung Phoenica back like she was preparing to roll the girl down a bowling lane and then whipped her into the air. The force of the throw was enough to separate Phoenica from her backpack and send them both flying upside down.
Oh boy.
Feeny!
Molly let
Oh,
out a
Feeny, that's her
silent
nickname.
cry.
That's fun.
Her friend had been chucked about 10 feet in the air.
Oh
And was
my
about to come
gosh.
down hard on the concrete. Molly's legs moved before her head. She dashed out into the alley and subconsciously began using her epithet, dumb, to dumb down the impact of the fall.
There we go, that
and reduce
helps.
the damage that Phoenica would take. Even so, it was still going to hurt if she hit the floor. There were no other cushions in sight. No other choice. A soft green glow surrounded Molly as she dove directly beneath her friend's growing shadow and
Ooh.
prepared for impact.
Good girl, Molly.
Phoenica slammed into her and they toppled to the ground in a heap. Luckily for Molly, 90% of Phoenica's body mass was fluff and cotton, so it felt less like
That's
getting
probably all in
crushed
her head, all
more
that
like being
fluff.
hit just a little too hard in a pillow fight.
Ow. Molly?
Meanwhile, above them, Phoenica's backpack had overturned in midair, and the top had come undone. Papers erupted from the backpack and scattered against the damp floor of the alleyway. They weren't the bright, multicolored bills that the mugger had been hoping for, though. These pages were white.
No!
Gosh,
Phoenica
what are
looked
they?
absolutely devastated. She was instantly crying big, stupid tears.
You bully! Look what you've done! No, the worksheets are all wet!
Worksheets?
What is this?
The wolf blinked.
Science, history,
They're just school
algebra,
worksheets?
all ruined! Do you know how long it takes to dry out a worksheet? It never lies perfectly flat again!
That's true.
Awful! It's like the paper equivalent of that eraser thing!
She blinked again.
Eraser thing?
Huh?
You know, the eraser thing, where you try to erase a pencil mark, but it just kind of smudges and
Oh,
smears
yeah.
gray streaks everywhere.
I get it
And then you
now.
think, oh, I guess I need to put a little more elbow grease into it. So you do, but the smudge just gets
I
worse.
actually
And then you
absolutely
try
feel
erasing
this.
harder and harder, and the eraser tears clean through the page. And now the page has been ripped, and you're not sure if it's your fault or if it's just a bad eraser. And you can't even be
Yeah, there's
sure
been so many
it's a bad
erasers that I've
unless you
just
test it a
tossed out
second
because
time,
they-
and that means
that's all they
ripping
do.
the page again.
What the hell are you talking about?
She bleated. Phoenica
Oh,
hugged
the
Molly.
mugger's just like, I don't understand what is happening.
I'm so sorry. You trusted me to deliver your homework for you, and
That was
here it
Molly's
is,
homework.
scattered about a dirty alley floor. I'm a failure.
Oh my gosh. Phoenica is such a
Molly?
ditz.
You were willing to risk your life for my homework? Again?
Again?
You trusted me.
Oh my gosh.
She wept.
It's okay. It's okay.
Molly patted Feeny on the back. It was like hugging a marshmallow.
I'm just happy you're all right.
Yeah, she's definitely the one who would have
You're
loved
far
Sylvie's
from
sheep.
all right.
The wolf snarled. She gestured towards the upturned backpack, which was now sitting stained in an alleyway puddle.
You just cost me full price on that new backpack! And you aren't leaving until someone covers the difference!
Like I said, I have $5,000.
Phoenica repeated. She reached into her skirt pocket, took out a tiny purse shaped like a sheep,
Oh, yep.
and produced
Okay, we got to have her and Sylvie
$5,000
meet at some point.
bills.
Seriously.
Feeny,
Molly hissed.
but Put those away!
She's...
Why? I might as well get rid of them.
Oh my...
My next allowance is coming up, and I can't seem to use these
No, but
anywhere.
book or show, Molly is
so
still
hard to
surrounded by
distribute
idiots.
out.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
I wouldn't.
Molly said, slamming the bills back into Feeney's purse.
I work a cash register for a living.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
no, if anyone
Said the
understands
mother,
money between the
closing the
people here,
distance.
it's Molly.
Was that a stack of kilos? Those real?
No, not at all.
Molly flailed.
These are props for a school play. Beanie is playing a rich girl.
Oh, Molly. If I were playing a rich girl,
Feeny,
I
stop
think I'd have far
talking.
more on me than a measly $5,000.
Molly elbowed her.
Oh,
The squeak and jingle bell sound effect there was great.
Never seen a real
This
live
is
kilo before.
Already, like,
said,
the
inching
best
closer.
type of
I
audiobook
hear
ever
if you put one of them in a
because
vending machine,
it has, like, all the extra
sprouts
sound effects and the
mechanical
different
legs
voice
and walks home
actors.
with you.
yes, that's
And
right.
considering they describe their actions already all the time in the show because it was based off a like a tabletop campaign, it just fits the show perfectly.
At once they actually sprout little arms alongside the legs and serve you like a waiter.
Molly muted her. She had
You
the
should have
ability
done
to
that
instantly
well before
silence
this,
both
Molly.
people and objects using her epithet. Feeney's mouth was still moving and her hands continued to gesture, but no sound came out.
She's practicing her lines.
Molly explained. Feeney continued talking silently. It seemed she hadn't noticed.
Most of the play is pantomime.
Uh-huh.
The mugger
Yeah,
said.
no, the
She
Mugger's
didn't
just
seem to
like,
buy it,
you
which
girls are
wasn't a huge
stupid.
surprise.
You're not
Muggers
gonna
don't
fool
usually
her.
buy things if they can steal them.
Well, even if they are just props, I bet I could pass them off to some schmuck for a quick buck.
Yeah,
Why don't
probably.
you just hand those over.
Flailed Molly. Flailed Feeney.
Hey, back off.
That's a different voice.
A new voice spoke from somewhere. Squeaky and strange.
Huh?
The mugger checked behind her. A third child stood at the
Oh,
entrance to the
we actually get a
alleyway.
little
This one
art
was
drawing
even
here of
smaller
what's
than
going
the
on
other
here.
two.
I like that.
Standing in the distance with her head down, she looked barely 3 feet tall, more like a garden gnome than a
Is
full-fledged
this
person.
is this Molly's other
Something
friend?
about her.
Oh, great. Another one?
The mugger rolled her eyes, flinging her body around like a wet sock to face the newcomer.
Get out of here, kid. You're interrupting business. Scram, if you know what's good for you.
The mugger casually flashed the switchblade as a warning. The newcomer spoke up.
Oh,
Yep, that's
If you
her.
had any
Recognize
real
her from the end of
sense,
the end of the show.
then you'd be the one running.
The mugger squinted. This new little girl had strawberry pink hair scrunched up into a single off-center tuft over her right eye. She wore an oversized purple sweater with sleeves that extended past her tiny arms.
So does she have an
Her voice was
epithet like
small
Molly
and
does?
scrunchy,
And
like
that's
a
why
toy
she's
somebody
that's
had
why she's
stepped on.
threatening, or is she
By all
just
accounts, she should have
crazy?
looked ridiculous.
Maybe she's just a scrapper.
There was something about the way she moved. No, something about the way she wasn't moving that made her feel off somehow. Stuck still. Too still.
Almost like she was a
Crack on
PNG
broken
sprite.
television screen, casting long shadows down the alleyway. Far too long for her tiny frame. Her face was still tilted down and invisible. She spoke again.
You seem pretty confident. So I'm guessing this place is your stomping grounds, right? That means I don't have to explain the name Roughhouse to you,
Roughhouse?
right?
Roughhouse.
The mugger raised her eyebrows. Of course she knew the name Rough House. Everybody in this part of town did. The Rough Houses.
Oh,
They were an
it's like
infamous
a
family of thugs that dominated the shadows
Oh,
of
like a-
Sweet
like a-
Jazz
like
City
a
few years back.
proper
Though
like
at this
criminal
point, They
family.
were more like an
Interest-
urban
it
legend.
seems like.
Rumor had it the oldest sibling was nigh indestructible. They said that he got his face gashed open on a chain link fence
Oh,
in the middle of
gosh.
a brawl. A wound like that would normally be enough to take someone down instantly, but this guy fought through the pain and beat up 10 more street punks before walking himself to the hospital like it was nothing.
You know, again, in this
Another
world where
sibling
people have
was a bomb
superpowers, I
junkie.
believe it.
Word on the street was that he wound up in prison after bombing the STEM building. And then there was the chick who went through town smashing up things with a giant baseball bat.
Oh, gosh.
And another one who apparently had an epithet that could turn you into her slave for the rest of your life if you pissed her off. But those were just rumors. Stories that thugs told their little thuglings at night to scare them crooked.
Thuglings.
Backstreet boogeymen. They weren't real.
I wonder if they are. In this world, I absolutely believe
Yeah,
that they're
sure.
real.
I know Roughhouse. What's that got to do with anything?
Oh, it's got a lot to do with me.
Said the little girl.
After all,
She lifted her head, looking the mugger directly in the eye for the first time.
I'm one of them.
Oh, okay.
Trixie Roughhouse.
Trixie Roughhouse,
Half of her face
huh?
was completely covered by her bangs. There was an X-shaped hairpin where the right eye should have been, but it was her other eye that the robber was staring at. Black.
Oh,
Her
gosh.
gaze was almost impossibly black.
Like a doll's eyes.
Dark. Absolute. Like staring into a hole so deep that you couldn't help but imagine what it would feel like to fall in. The air around her started to feel tight. The mugger was just as still as the new girl now. Two alley cats frozen in a
Gosh,
stare down.
I'm uncomfortable.
Baloney.
Which I think is Trixie's goal here.
What I hear, them roughhouses are all in their teens at least. They don't got no kids, sister.
That's news to me.
Trixie responded, uncomfortably still. The mugger felt like she was being stared through. She reflexively checked behind her. No one there. She wasn't being flanked. Just her two marks cowering on the ground. Did they know this girl? The mugger
Yes,
turned
they
back to
do.
Trixie.
Hey, what's it to you, huh? They your friends or something?
Never met him before in my life.
She said
Oh.
flatly.
But
Good
from the
lie.
sound of things, they're worth about $5,000.
Damn, she heard that, huh?
There's a reason, you know.
Huh?
Why you haven't heard of me? There's a reason. See, my siblings all have a reputation. You know why that is?
This kid is freaking me
Because
out.
people see what they do.
Oh, gosh.
Because after they scrap with someone, they let the other guy walk away.
Oh,
Then, for the first
she
time,
implied that she doesn't?
she moved. Her oversized purple sleeves swung back and forth like a pendulum. Suddenly, something appeared from her left arm. Something with a silver edge.
Oh,
At
gosh.
first, the mugger thought it might be a knife, but as her eyes focused, she realized it was actually the tip of a box cutter.
That's still basically a knife.
I'm different. The reason I don't have a reputation.
The pendulum swung up. The metallic tip of the box cutter dug into the blue wall of the alleyway. Trixie began to walk forward.
Psycho child. I actually feel kind of bad for the mugger now. Which I shouldn't, because, you know, she was terrorizing
I
and
don't like
threatening
to leave
children.
witnesses.
It was a ridiculous statement, especially coming from someone of Trixie's stature. But the way she said it, her absolute conviction.
Yeah, do you really want to risk that this kid is making this all up at this point?
A sudden thought raced through the mugger's head.
I'm going to die.
She tried to shake it off, but the feeling was perched on her heart like a heavy black bird and wouldn't let go. The child kept walking towards her, eye contact
Gosh.
unbreaking.
Is she still dragging the box cutter along the wall this whole
The walls
time?
of the alleyway felt like they were warping, closing in towards her the way they do in a nightmare. The mugger had only one option.
Stay back!
She cried.
I have an epithet!
If someone
Do
ever
you?
threatened you on the street, the best thing to do was to pretend you had an epithet.
That sounds about right.
Especially if you were a Mundy. It was common knowledge. Even the Street Smarts VHS mentioned it. An epithet was a wild card in any battle. The word alone was often enough to throw an assailant off their rhythm. But not this time.
Yeah, no, I think
didn't
Trixie's
hesitate
just
for a
insane. She doesn't care about
didn't
that.
She just kept closing the distance with constant, rhythmic steps like the timer on a clock ticking down. Tick, tick.
Why do I have the feeling, though, that she's insane, but she's probably the more
Weight the
sane of
box cutter
Molly's two
sparked
friends
against
here,
the wall of
because
each football,
Finica is
casting
just an
shadows
idiot.
and sinking her face into even deeper darkness.
You're lying.
Oh gosh, the sing-song.
Any inscribed with a real epithet would never lead with a knife. That's a Mundy move.
But you're using a knife too! Doesn't that make you a Mundy?
The mugger smiled in a desperate, sweaty way that would have lost a poker hand.
Do you really want to
Gosh.
tangle with an inscribed?
Trixie paused. The sparking stopped. For a
Yeah,
second,
no,
the mugger
no one
thought her
believes that you're
bluffing wore
inscribed
fruit.
here, Mugger.
But then, Trixie laughed. And for the first time, she smiled.
Why is this
It
so
was an
creepy?
ugly smile. A deep, unsightly grin twisted across her face, like a doll stretched too far.
Oh gosh.
And what makes you think this isn't my epithet?
Trixie raised
That's
her other
true.
sleeve
Epithets
and
literally
kicked
can
it
be any word.
downwards. Another
Which is
box
why I assumed
Then
that
two,
the
Then 3.
Sheriff in Redwood
then
Run was
5.
faking. Oh my
Faded silver
gosh.
shot out from her sweater like claws where her hands should have been and scratched against both sides of the alleyway. Dual spark showers exploded on both sides.
That is not at all creepy. But like I was saying, like I assumed when I first met the sheriff in Redwood Run when I watched the show that he was faking having an epithet in order to get the job, but I was informed that no, he actually has an epithet. He's just useless.
Ready to carve.
But in this world, you can absolutely try to fake it because epithets literally can be anything.
4.5 feet of monster.
4.5 feet of
The
monster.
grin twisted.
What do you think? Am I bluffing? Can you defeat me with your imaginary epithet? Huh? Are you willing to make that bet?
Oh gosh.
The mugger shrunk back. What the hell was she supposed to do in a situation like this? Her eyes
Yeah,
darted towards the
just
two
run.
girls
It's not
cowering
worth
next
it
to the
anymore.
backpack.
Just run.
Desperately, she grabbed the fluffy-looking one and held her at knife point. She pantomimed in mute protest.
Oh, because she's still muted by Molly.
She shouted.
Don't you care what happens to these two?
Trixie's grin didn't falter for a second. In fact, it might have grown wider.
You think a hostage can protect you? Go ahead.
This kid is
don't
insane.
even
Again, I don't know if she
mind
actually has an
spending
epithet or
money.
not, but
Right
it's.
now, I'd
I
say
think she
you
might be
still have
faking it,
enough
but
time to
it's
get away.
like
But
if you're the mugger, you should just leave at this
stand there
point.
behind 2 meat shields while I slowly walk up to you. What's going to happen?
My
What
gosh.
do you think is going to happen when I reach you? Do you really think I'll stop?
Oh my
Is
gosh.
$5,000 worth it to me? Is it worth their lives? Is it worth your life? Well, go on, try it. Gamble. After all,
Okay.
Their eyes locked.
Again, I'm
A
scared
ring
of Trixie.
hungry silver-edged light cut across the dark of Trixie's eyes like a reaper's scythe.
I've killed for less.
What is your problem?
It didn't even take the wolf a second to decide. She exploded out of the alleyway, howling and ragdolling through the streets, much to the confusion of
Yeah,
nearby
no, it
pedestrians.
just
That
run.
mugger wouldn't return to this part of town for years, and she'd never venture into that particular alleyway ever again.
Good. Oh my
Trixie watched
gosh,
after
Trixie,
her
you
as the
insane
attacker's
person.
footsteps faded into the distance. Dead silence was all that remained. Once they were sure she was gone, the 2 victims on the ground looked up at the demon who had just saved them. There was a clattering sound as several box cutters slipped from
Yep,
their
that's what
sleeves
I
and
figured was
bounced against
happening
the
there.
Concrete. Trixie Roughhouse.
Why
did
did
not
you even have that many box cutters on you,
Trixie
Trixie?
Roughhouse had never been in a real fight in her entire life. Trixie Roughhouse began to hyperventilate.
Oh, God.
Gosh,
She sputtered.
holy smokes! I'm so scared.
Wow.
The hardened expression from before had vanished. In its
Yeah,
place was
that
the
worked,
shaking
kid.
face of a
You
small
had me
child
scared,
who'd been
honestly, and I'm
separated
just
from her
reading.
mother
Well,
at the
not even.
grocery
I'm
store.
reading, part listening to
Trixie
it.
hadn't lied to the mugger about her background. Well, kinda. She'd never killed anyone before, but she
Good.
was the youngest member of the Roughhouse family, and she had learned a great deal from her older siblings.
Okay, then.
She grew up learning
At least
all
that part
about
was
life
true.
on the street without having to experience it firsthand. Her older sister taught her how to fight. Her older brother taught her how to scare people so bad that she would never need to. She had 4 lifetimes worth of
So
street
one of
smarts
her
drilled into
siblings
her
has an
tiny
epithet because they
raspberry
mentioned that one of the
skull
rough
from a young
houses had an
age.
epithet.
She knew
Okay.
all of the swears, which meant that she was a very cool 12-year-old.
I knew all of the swears. That immediately makes you cool at that
I
age.
didn't know what to do. I was just trying to scare her away, but when she pointed a knife at you, I just doubled down because I didn't know what else to do. But then I bluffed and said I didn't care if she hurt you. What if she had?
Yeah, honestly, that was what you had to do in that situation.
Finica flung her arms around the smaller girl and began weeping herself.
Okay, at least you're not muted anymore. It's Finica. That's the weirder name. I keep wanting to say Phoenicia, but it's not. Oh my gosh.
Molly began to tear up too. Her friends were safe. They were all safe. She wrapped her arms around them and hugged them even tighter. The trio of little girls held each other in a ball and wailed together.
Oh my
alone
gosh.
In the alleyway. The kids at school nicknamed them the Neo Trio.
Neo
This is
Trio.
because when they stood side by side, they looked like Neapolitan ice cream.
Oh my
Chocolate,
gosh, they do.
strawberry,
Yeah, look at
vanilla.
that.
Molly, Trixie, and Finica. Trixie Roughhouse and Finica Felicity. They were Molly's best friends. and she.
And apparently one of them showed up in the museum during the show. I'm gonna need to go back now that I know who they are and look for that.
Prologue, the Bonsai Blasters.
Oh no.
The hour.
Well, at least we saw Molly and her friends there. It's probably setting up where they end up on the beach. But okay, I guess we're going straight to the Bonsai Blasters now.
Specials. Shows like Street Smarts for Kids. The place.
Why is everything spelled with a Z?
Also known as the Big Treehouse in Crusher's backyard. The coolest hangout spot any of them knew. At least the coolest one where they wouldn't be kicked out by an employee for loitering.
Yeah, but loitering is a perfectly respectable crime.
A group of small-time delinquents were gathered around the
are those
pop-up table that Crusher had
those Giovanni's bonsai blasters? I mean, we know what Car Crash looks like, but I guess this is the rest of them.
Day indeed. They had lost their hope, their beacon of light, their leader.
Minion.
Hey, Giovanni, the goat.
Giovanni was standing some ways away, looking dramatically out the window. His back was turned so that his figure was lit by a halo of ominous golden light.
Because he's a drama queen.
It was difficult to hear what he was saying because he was facing away from them and talking out a window. But nobody said anything because it made him look cool, and they knew that that was what really mattered.
That sounds about right for these guys.
Here today, that you received my group text. You already know what I'm going to say. But some messages are simply too important to be conveyed by emoticons and Darkstar's funny gifts.
He turned to them.
I love how
As
hilariously
of today,
incompetent these guys are.
I am leaving the Bonsai Blasters.
The
Yep.
man's head sunk even lower.
Yeah, he declared that he was quitting back when he
Just 1 week
learned that the
ago, they
Bonsai
pulled off their
Blasters
first
were a
big
bunch of
job,
jerks
A museum heist.
in Redwood
It
Run.
hadn't all gone according to plan, mostly because they hadn't had one. But at the end of the night,
That does
they
make it
managed
hard to go
get
to
away
plan.
with a very valuable magic amulet. Giovanni had traveled to a seedy town in the middle of the woods in order to get the amulet appraised and sell it. Unfortunately, he had been ambushed by a different faction of Bonsai Blasters and was beaten up pretty badly.
Yep.
According to him,
With
he
Bugsby and
totally kicked their
Arnold.
butts afterwards. But he lost the necklace in the process.
Giovanni,
and now he had
no,
no
he
idea
didn't.
where it was. Giovanni was less upset about the loss of the necklace than he was with his organization's conduct.
Yep.
He'd always seen the Bonsai Blasters as a way for passionate youths to get together and channel their energy into something positive, like crime. But it turned out that apparently the only thing the higher-ups in the Bonsai Blaster organization cared about was turning a profit. What was that? Whatever happened to making a statement through your crime? Where's the passion?
He's more of an artiste when it comes to his criminal
Giovanni
activity.
was having none of it, and he was insistent on quitting. Car Crash, the only minion who had accompanied him on the trip, tried to talk him out of it during the long walk home, but
Gosh, they walked all the way back from Redwood
He
Run?
announced his retirement via group chat using a gif of a popular actress flipping off the camera and saying,
I'm out, bitches!
in big impact font. Darkstar had reacted with a gif of a cartoon dog's jaw hitting the floor. The rest of the minions protested fiercely.
I honestly
Sure, they
don't
lost
expect
their
anything
treasure,
else from
but they had
Giovanni.
successfully executed a museum heist. Giovanni was a wanted man now. That was a big deal for a Bonsai Blaster. The police usually ignored the low-ranking Bonsai Blasters and Bonsai Captains because their crimes were so petty they simply weren't worth the time it took to deal with them.
Yeah.
But Giovanni was a bona fide criminal now. He was on the lam. The police had even staked out his house.
Oh, gosh.
He'd been hiding out in Crusher's treehouse for the last week in order to lay low. The way the minions saw it, Giovanni had clout now. This was his chance to climb even further up the Bonsai ranks. Giovanni retorted that he wasn't interested in getting a promotion from a bunch of jerks like the Bonsai Blasters. Becoming famous
And
wasn't
he
worth being
has
a
standards.
But do not fret, my loyal minions. I have not forsaken you, nor have I given up my dream of becoming the #1 villain of all time.
He's just gonna set out on his own to do
He
it.
turned dramatically to face them.
I have decided to start my own villainous organization, and you are all invited.
What's it called? Asked Flamethrower.
I don't know.
What does it do?
Asked Spike.
I don't know yet.
Oh my gosh.
How will you get funding?
Asked
He didn't
Darkstar.
think about any of this.
I don't know that either. So,
He clapped his hands on his hips triumphantly.
are you in?
The minions leapt to their feet and cheered.
Of
There was
course,
never any
they're
question.
die-hard
The Bonsai Blaster
loyal to
organization
Giovanni.
was an openly malicious, bald-faced pyramid scheme that preyed
And
on
again,
teens
Crusher
who
has
were
a crush on
rebellious
Giovanni,
phase
and I
disenfranchised
suspect
divorcees
that
going
Spike
through
might
their
as well,
midlife
based
crisis.
on the way they
People
both
mostly joined
yelled
the
"I
Bonsai
love you" to
Blasters
him
just so
in
they
the
could say that they were
finale of
part
the museum
something.
arc.
Giovanni's minions were the same way when they joined. A gaggle of directionless jerks trying to find something, anything in life to get excited about. They'd expected to spray paint a few walls, steal some bikes, littering, loitering, Little bit of lootering, but that was
Little
about it.
bit of lootering.
And that's probably what
That
would
is
have
a
happened if they hadn't
beautiful
been
sentence
placed in the
right there.
Same squad as Giovanni Potage. Giovanni wasn't their leader at first. In fact, the management hadn't assigned them a leader at all. The upper ranks of the Bonsai Blasters
Not
only
too
cared
surprising.
about making money, which meant that all of their attention was spent on newbies who looked like their continued monthly membership might turn a profit. Captains and higher-ranking members were only assigned to recruits with a lot of promise. Apparently, Giovanni's gang didn't make the cut. The rest
Not
of them
surprising.
Made fun of Giovanni at first. He insisted that his bonsai nickname be Hotshot, but instead the group settled on Cream Puff to mock him for bringing a tray of homemade pastries to their squad's first meeting. As a way
I
to say
absolutely
hello to his
believe
new
that he did that
teammates.
too, yeah.
Still, though, they had to admit that they tasted great.
Yeah,
Whenever the
I have
group
no
was in
doubt
danger
about
of
that. I'm
settling
sure
into that
Giovanni's
standing
mom
around
taught him
in
how
a
to do it
parking lot
herself.
Doing nothing flavor of teenage boredom typical of a Bonsai Blaster squad, Giovanni would light a fire under them. He came up with schemes, gave them goals to work towards. Midnight snack runs to the gas station turned into elaborate heists.
It's all about
They
the
had
little
show and
goals.
tell nights where they would see who could steal and present the strangest item. Winners got star stickers. One time they snuck
What
into
is
a
this, like
convenience
Maple
store and
Pies that
replaced
are
all of the gas
sheet of
station hot
stickers?
dogs with cattails from a nearby pond.
Oh.
It was undeniably stupid, but it was fun.
I mean,
And it gave them stories to tell.
that's
was all they
pretty
really wanted.
that's pretty fun in terms of like
Giovanni had
prank.
so
Technically
many
a crime,
ideas
but more
for
like a
things to
prank
do that
crime.
Following his plans became second nature. Darkstar jokingly called him boss, and the title stuck. In time, the minions had fallen in love with their charismatic doofus of a leader. Some of them very literally.
Yep.
These kids weren't loyal to the organization. They were loyal to Giovanni, and they would follow him to the ends of the earth.
Glad he's still got their loyalty now.
Giovanni slapped the table with a triumphant grin.
We're a team again, boys! And we've already got our first secret mission!
What you planning and
Two
scheming already,
deadly
Giovanni?
phrases. Behold!
The group grinned back and forth at each other. Giovanni spread a hand-drawn blueprint across the table.
This mission is scheduled for this Friday!
The cheering stopped.
Oh.
Huh? Oh, what's wrong? This Friday as in this Friday? This Friday?
Do y'all have plans, basically?
Yes, this Friday. Why?
Can we move it?
No, we cannot move it, Ben. The deadline is Friday. That's what it says on the blueprints.
He pointed to the blueprints. The word
Friday!
was circled in big red letters. Underneath the words,
Or you die!
Oh my gosh, a little dramatic there, but I wouldn't expect anything else from Giovanni.
Friday is my big cheer competition.
Oh,
Flamethrower frowned.
of course it is.
Giovanni gasped. They'd all bought tickets. How could he have forgotten?
Oh,
I am so sorry. New phase of the plan. Phase 0. Someone needs to stay behind to film Flamethrower's cheer meet so I can watch it later.
I can do that.
Ben raised his hand.
again, he
I'm
really
already
does
at all
care
of
for his
his
minions.
practices. I've been acting as a stand-in for the enemy teams, so they've got someone to jeer. They call me the jeer leader.
Hey, maybe you can finally get
Giovanni wrung
a
his
nickname
hands
there,
together.
Ben Cheerleader.
As for the rest of you, phase 2 of the plan requires.
What happened to
red
phase 1? You
spots.
went phase
Car crash.
0 and now phase
Are you
2? Or are you just saying
available?
phase 2 is the one that needs transport?
I'd love to, man.
Oh,
Said Car Crash, speaking from a cell phone.
Hey,
that
there's Car
popped up
Crash.
on a table on an old pizza box.
But after crashing our 6th and final family car, my parents
my
were
gosh.
me for the rest of my
Wait,
foreseeable
6? That
life.
means you crashed another one since the Redwood Run incident?
Giovanni
Wasn't that
asked.
car number 5?
I'd have to ask my mom first.
Said Darkstar. Everyone collectively groaned. Ugh, Darkstar's mom.
Oh gosh.
Forget it.
Giovanni wilted.
Your mom over-researches everything. It'll take weeks before we get the okay, and we are on a deadline. Bureaucracy. How about the rest of you?
Sorry, boss.
Spike replied.
But word on the street is that the goose that stole my sandwich last spring is back in town.
What?
And I'm not letting that web-toed walk away until I get what's mine.
She punched her leather-studded fist into her hand and cracked her knuckles so hard it sounded like shattering ice.
Okay, that is acceptable.
Giovanni said.
Because as we all know,
He raised his hands like a conductor.
no matter what any corny 4 o'clock special like Street Smarts tries to tell you,
Revenge is actually awesome.
The minions chorused.
Actually awesome.
Car Crash echoed.
Delayed by latency.
Crusher, how about you? Are you free?
Always, boss.
Great.
Yep, that sounds
Phase
about
1
right.
of this mission requires a chef. How are your
What
baking
even is this
skills?
mission, Giovanni?
Crusher banged his fists against the table.
I can make cereal, provided it comes in a box.
Without cookies.
I will learn for you, Bob.
Oh gosh, Crusher.
Oh, that's no good.
He's gonna pop
The
a
art
vessel
of cookie
screaming like
baking
that.
Takes years to master, and we only have a couple of days. You'll have to man the home front on this one.
Okay. I will keep the treehouse warm for you, honey.
Oh my gosh.
Giovanni mused.
It sounds like most of you will be indisposed for this mission. Very well. Go
Gosh,
about
are you
your
still gonna
business.
do this
For
mission?
now,
What
your
is your
first
plan
assignment
here,
is to think of
Giovanni?
a
I don't even know
cool
what it
new
is.
name for our organization.
Giovanni's boys began excitedly chatting amongst themselves and shooting ideas back and forth for their new bad guy group.
Oh,
Their
gosh.
leader turned dramatically towards the entrance of the treehouse and gazed out at the suburban landscape before him.
This might be more difficult than I thought,
He mumbled.
but there's still a chance. After all, I still have one minion left to ask.
Bear trap, right? Yeah. I'm gonna stop this here. I didn't realize there were so many prologues to this. So now I'm curious. When it says that there's first 6 chapters, is it counting the prologues as chapters? So is this actually 3 prologues and 3 chapters, or what? Maybe 4 prologues and 2 chapters? I'm curious, but those are the first 2 prologues. I am completely blind going into this. That's part of the fun of this, is I don't know what to expect. But I love that we got a prologue with Molly. We got to meet her friends properly. And we also had a prologue with Giovanni, and we saw his minions there. We actually got to see what they look like. Again, we already knew what Car Crash looked like, but gosh, that was the 5th car in Redwood Run. Gosh, that means he crashed another one since then. He's such an idiot. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this video here, and I'm gonna, again, like I said, I'm gonna be doing 2 chapters each time. So whether this ends up being like a lot more than I expected, but based on the fact that we are 43 minutes into this, I'm assuming that it is going to end up being like half prologue, half actual chapters for this, which is really interesting. But I'm loving this so far. Again, it feels so naturally like watching the show because of the fact that the characters already described nearly all of their actions. Because it was based off a tabletop RPG. So having an audiobook where we have the creator of the show doing the main narration and then still having the voice actors for each of the characters chime in to do like the actual dialogue for the characters and also their internal thoughts when they're thinking and stuff like that. It really does feel like I'm just watching a scrolling text version of the show. So it really doesn't feel too much different. I'm trying my best. It's hard for me because I read fast. I'm trying my best to not read ahead as the script is being read and narrated, because I want to like hear the delivery more than actually like read it myself. But I still like reading it because like I said on previous reactions, subtitles help a lot with reactions, because then I could read stuff while I'm talking and I don't talk over stuff and miss important details. But that was a great start. I love that we're right away. It's like, okay, Molly's back, Giovanni's back. Here's what's going on with these characters. And again, we actually got to see the Bonsai Blasters designs, meet Molly's friends. Phoenica is a moron, and Trixie is part of an insane family. Her siblings have definitely rubbed off on her. So very fun start to this. Again, we'll see what happens. I believe it's still just going to be, because they say 6 chapters and we're like a third of the way through this ish. I still think it's just going to end up being like Prologue C and then either Prologue D if there is one, or Chapter 1 for the next one. And then the last 2 chapters, whether it's 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 will be in the other video. And then, like I said, after that, I'm going to be getting back to actually reading the book. Now that I've heard all the voices for these characters, I know what they sound like in my head. And we will see what happens with this story. I'm just glad that I get to actually continue checking out this story. And I'm glad that the voice actors are still involved so we can hear all of these characters. So there you have it. That was my reaction to Prologue A and Prologue B for Epithet Erased, Prison of Plastic. Like I said, off to a fantastic start. I think this is really fun that they uploaded this preview to YouTube so I could check this out because, like I've said before, I only react to things if they're already on YouTube. I feel like it just makes it easier that way. It's like, oh, it's already on YouTube. In theory, it shouldn't have too many issues with copyright. And even then, I'm still going to be watermarking this whole thing. And then, like, when I do actual animations, I block some of the footage. But this is scrolling text. I'm only going to do watermark for this one, but that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to see more of how this is going. Definitely looking forward to see the Molly and Giovanni reunion. I'm not sure if that's going to be in these first few chapters or if we're going to have to wait until I read the actual book itself before we get to that, but he said there was one more minion he had to ask the opinion of, and that one is Bear Trap. Definitely looking forward to seeing those two back together again. Even though he wants to do evil, as he says it, his plots are only kind of evil, and he definitely has been a better influence on Molly than her father. That's for sure. Gosh, Martin Blindef is a moron and honestly a horrible person. But I am very curious now because I'm pretty sure we're gonna meet Molly's sister. I would assume this is her on the cover of the book here. The two of them do look very alike. And it says it was her older sister, and that girl definitely looks older. So I'm assuming we're going to be meeting Molly's sister during the events of this book, and I'm curious what she's going to be like. I don't have high hopes considering the way Molly was talking about her family to Giovanni in the show, but this was a really fun start. Again, these are going to be very long videos, but thank you all to everyone who's been showing support on this series and leaving the comments, helping point me in the right direction when I miss something or misunderstand something about this series. It's been a lot of fun. I read every comment on those videos, and also, thank you to whoever brought up the fact that Prison of Plastic exists. I did see that video in the official playlist for Epithet Erased. I wasn't quite sure what it was at the time, but overall, thank you again to everyone who's been pointing me in the direction of this show. I am purely invested in these characters now, and I'm looking forward to where the story's going to keep going. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please drop a like and a comment down below if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you all on the next one. Bye, guys!